You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
There we go.
Hey, folks.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm William.
And we're a podcast about
How we game.
It is Thursday night, 9 p.m. This is what we do. Thursday night, 9 p.m., we take your phone calls and we talk about
Games.
Yeah, games. Board games. Phone number is 813-618-7099. Put it up on the board for you. Don't forget to call in. Talk to us about what games you've been playing, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you're buying, what you're looking to buy, right? Acquisitions that you're desiring to get, things like that. Any topic gaming adjacent is counts as
That'll
well.
work.
Anything gaming adjacent even counts. So
Yep. Anything geeky goodness.
there's my my spiel. Give us a call, 813-618-7099. I'm going to open up that phone line.
Get that phone line open and going.
Yep. While we do that, Robert, William, and I will talk about games that we have been playing or things that we've been doing to keep the time going.
Or news, things we've been hearing about. Want to hear things from you as well. Whatever you've been hearing, whatever you want to talk about, want to educate us on. We're here to talk about all that good stuff.
I do like that when they bring up something that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, we can pull it up on the interwebs here, take a look at it, and find out, explore some new things.
All right, Robert, tell me what you've been up to.
Well, not a whole lot. The most recent gaming I know I did was all three of us had the opportunity to get together last, was it Saturday, I believe?
Yes.
Yep, so last Saturday we got over at Armada Games in Tampa, and we broke out a game that I haven't had out on the table in a while, Caverna. I pulled it up here a minute ago. We were just talking about a 2013 release. That game's a little older than I thought. I knew it was a modern classic, but I didn't realize it was 2013. So it's been a few years since that game came out. But not a game we get to the table a whole lot because it is a big game and it takes a little bit of time. But we actually, I was planning for a 4-player game, but we put out an open invitation to the group a couple days ahead of time, and 6 people actually showed up to play. So it was a nice surprise. We had a few more than I thought. I'd advertised it would probably be 2.5, 3 hours with 6 people. Anybody who's played before knows that it will run a little longer. So I think we were about 3.5 hours total.
Was it that long?
Yeah,
It didn't feel like
somebody was timing it, and said it was 3.5 hours. So yeah, it didn't feel like it again. I mean, it felt like a couple hours to me. But I had the opportunity to teach, I think, 4. Well, there were 3 who had never played it before. Will had played it before. It just had been a while, I think you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably when it first came out.
Okay, so yeah, it had been a while since
And
you
I didn't
played.
like it either.
Yeah. What'd you think about it this time then? So
It was okay.
Not
I
the
mean, I did a completely different strategy than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I did.
I liked your strategy,
I did like
though.
I came in I tied for second or third.
Third. I mean, you tied for third.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tied for third.
Exact
And
time.
I had
yeah.
only 2 dwarfs the whole game.
Yeah, you didn't make any dwarf babies at all. Everybody else
Nope.
was making the dwarf babies, but you just stuck with your 2 dwarves, and
They were sterile.
So what was your thing then? What did you do? What got you the points?
I did a dwarf thing. I mined.
Yeah, just
I
mind
just
out.
built a whole bunch of.
He
more-
mined and he adventured.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah,
all I did.
Yeah, he made the weapons. And
I
did
think I
the
pretty
expeditions.
much. I just
yeah.
role play the whole game.
Yeah,
And he got 56 points. He tied you, Robert, at 56.
56. Okay, you got the stats over there, Mr. Statman.
Yep.
Okay, who finished second? Was it Muhammad that finished second? I know Raphael won.
Muhammad finished second at 60.
I think
Okay.
Raphael had 70 points or something like that.
72 or something? Or was it
76. He was all
76.
quiet by
Yeah.
himself out
wow.
there.
Yeah, he pummeled us.
Yeah, but that game of Caverna had me so unsure of how the ending was going to go.
Well, we were all convinced that you were
you had-
clobbering us. You seemed to have your engine going. You were planting plants early on, or planting crops, I should say, and you were pulling those crops. You were having no problem feeding your workers. You were animals were multiplying, but I guess you just didn't do much of the mining and of the developing out. The
No, I didn't
fields and
develop my
stuff?
board.
Okay, you didn't develop.
I
the
really
board.
didn't develop my board in the way that y'all did. I really focus on having no penalties.
Okay, yeah, trying to get a little bit of everything.
And I guess if you play too conservatively, you risk, right? You risk a lot. And I came in last place? No,
Rachel
Rachel
I think,
came
was
in
last.
last.
You and Rachel.
I was 47. She was at 45.
That was weird because both you and Rachel had a lot of wooden pieces on your board.
Yes, we had a
Yeah.
lot of veggies. Her and I
Yes.
both did a lot of farming, did a lot of vegging.
All I did was every single room in my cave was developed.
Okay, yeah.
That was it.
I know Rachel and Raphael, so our first place and our last place, had never played Caverna before, although they both said they had played Agricola several times. They were very familiar with Agricola. And so this Caverna was kind of the successor to Agricola, same designer, same producer and all that. And Raphael I had told him before that a lot of people feel that Agricola is a little penalizing, where Agricola requires you to do a little bit of everything, and if you miss doing a little bit of everything, you get big penalties at the end. This one, you get little penalties for not doing everything, but you can way offset that by going hard in one or two directions. If you just make a whole bunch of animals or a whole bunch of food, you can offset the little penalties that you get by not doing other things. So it was interesting that the two of them had played, like I say, Agricola, and were familiar with that, and that they came in at the opposite ends of the spectrum. One of them did really well, and one of them didn't do so well in Caverna. But I know they both said that they think they like Caverna better than Agricola. So
I did post the pictures of our score sheets on the Instagram and the Facebook page, so that might give people a better idea of what we did different when we played.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes, people get kind of see the strategy. I know I felt like I was lost for literally about the first half of the game. I was trying to do different things, and I was really struggling to feed my dwarves, feed the new. I think I had 3. I only had one dwarf baby in the first half of the game, but even just with the 3 of them, I was really struggling. Every time I felt like I would pick a crop, I'd have to turn around and feed it to my dwarves at the end of the round when we did the harvest. Something clicked the second half. I'd say about the second half, and especially maybe the last quarter of the game, I started. I had most of my mine built out, and I started buying those upgrade tiles to start furnishing the caverns in my mine, and I got a lot of points that way at the end. And then I know the mining the gems and mining the ore, which is something Will went heavy in. I made some points at the end doing that.
Yeah, you had 27 points in furnishing tiles, pastures, and mines, and another 9 in parlors. So, okay. I mean, you were second to Raph on parlors.
36 for those 2 categories. So, yeah, that was really as grabbing those up. We played the basic version, which there's a basic version on the furnishings, the buildings, and then there's a second side that has twice as many tiles, and they do a little more complex stuff. So we played the easier version, the basic version. But, yeah, second half of the game, I started looking at those. I was like, oh, yeah, I need to grab up a few of those. Those are worth some points over there. So,
so your strategy, William, was mining and adventuring. So let's look at your score sheet here. You got 6 animals total, 6 points from animals. You did not have 2 of the categories of animals, so you were -2 there. You only had 6 grains, so you only gained 3 points there. 3 points for vegetables. You only had your starting 2 dwarves.
Started 2 dwarves. Yep.
You were -5 for unused spaces, and I think those were all
outside.
Outside, right?
In the fields.
Yeah, in the fields. You didn't leave. Oh, we got a phone call coming in. Beans and Ice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
I was Florida man calling from Lakeland.
How you doing, Chris?
It's going pretty good, man. How are you?
I am excited to see you this weekend.
Yeah, so I was going to ask if you're going to be at the Kobold Cup.
I will be at Kobold Cup. It is this weekend is the second Saturday game day for our game group, but I'm going to miss that because I will be with Chris. Chris is part of our Florida Blood Bowl group, and he and I will be at the Sevens tournament, Blood Bowl tournament, at your turn.
Yep.
A board game cafe.
Right.
This Saturday.
You see how he's like looking at me? He's just trying to convert me.
Oh, he's trying to get you to come along?
He's trying to convert me to play Blood Bowl.
Well, he's giving up on me, so he's going to try it with you. Yeah.
What's your plan for this weekend? What are you taking?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
That means you only need 1.
I'm playing.
He tried halflings
last.
He tried halflings last. No, what was it?
Well, we wouldn't know.
Snotlings. You tried Snotlings last time.
Yeah.
And that did not go well.
Well, yeah. Yeah, Snotlings did not go well. That was a full Blood Bowl 11s tournament, though.
But the last time you played Sevens, you were Underworld, and this is the guy, if y'all watched any of the videos that I posted of the games,
a little bit.
He randomly got selected to be on top table, and he never got kicked off the whole day.
Oh, wow, nice.
He was there on top table the entire day with his Underworld team. He played against the best of the best every round.
Yeah, and stayed on.
But then at the end, it was, who was that last round? It was you and, was it James?
It was
Josh. It was Josh, and
Yeah.
that round, I think it ended in a tie, which ended putting you like in 4th place for the tournament.
Rough.
Yeah, it was a pretty precipitous drop. I'm playing Underworld again, same roster. I think it'll go well. We'll see. I kind of wish-wash between humans. I actually considered Chaos Dwarves for a while, but I went back to Underworld. What's interesting about this tournament, actually, is that the Snotlings, I don't know if you remember, but there was a house rule for a couple of Sevens tournaments where Snotlings and other stunties didn't count towards the specialist cap.
Yeah, we did that for the tournament I hosted.
Exactly. So you set a really good precedent there. But then what ended up happening was this tournament, they did away with that. So no Snotlings for me. So
See,
that's okay.
Before this tournament, we were going off of kind of homebrew rules that were established in the community.
Sure.
But now, between that tournament and now, Games Workshop has published a dedicated set of Blood Bowl 7's rules. So I feel like this organizer, Ben, great guy, maybe didn't want to deviate too much from the issued organized rules other than the theme things that we're doing.
Right. We do get a pretty fun kobold, though, which counts as a halfling, essentially. That'll be a good mechanic.
Yeah, everybody gets a little miniature, a kobold miniature, kind of little, just lizardy guy.
Sure, yeah.
And you get to use him as a player.
Okay.
So, but if you score with him, you get bonus points.
Oh.
Eat him as much as possible, so that way you get these like bonus points. But I don't have a guy to eat mine on my team, so I'm just going to foul all day with him.
That's my plan. I'm going with Black Orcs. My goal is just to ignore the ball and get as many casualties as possible. I want into that game.
Smash people.
There's a group of guys in there that their whole goal, the whole game, is just to have the most casualties at the end of the tournament.
You're gonna be that guy.
I'm gonna join that group. That club seems fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Josh and Blackie.
We're going to get a report.
Right.
I lost all my men.
Now, if you're playing Black Orcs, what is your roster, if I might ask?
It's 4 Black Orcs and 4 of the little guys. What do they call them? I don't even know. See, I haven't even painted mine yet. I got to paint them tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So no troll then.
No big guy. I'm not going big guy. It's too expensive. I can't afford any rerolls. I mean, it's just filling up the roster with 7 dudes off the Black Orc team is way too expensive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, Chris, I'm gonna shout you out a little bit, but tell me a little bit more about where you've ranked internationally on the 7's ladder in the world's rankings. Where have you been?
Well, the caveat is this was before Games Workshop released it, so playing was limited outside of really Florida. We kind of set the bar really high for that. So historically, I came to Florida in 2017 and was introduced to 7s. Started climbing the ladder. For a while there, I was number 1 with High Elves.
Yeah, worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah. So then John Alberto came behind me with Skaven, and John.
Yep.
So he passed me by a few points. Then we had a big 7s tournament. Mark Perry, I forget how it's pronounced. He came all the way from Las Vegas here to Florida with an Amazon team and played a Las Vegas 7s tournament. And with that tournament alone, he actually took number 1 from both of us.
Wow.
I have since then a little bit. I'm currently number 2 behind Mark by like less than a point in NAF ranking. So next time I play High Elves, I hope to take it from him.
See, now you see why the guy was. And what's weird to me is he was randomly selected to go to top table. So I recorded him in the first match, but he never left.
Just stayed there. Yeah.
Stayed there the whole night.
You give me too much credit, but thank you.
Y'all folks at home can go to the channel, the YouTube channel. All the videos of that tournament are there. You can watch him in action and study his moves and then try to defeat him. But I'm looking forward to seeing you this Saturday, brother.
You too, sir.
Take care. Thanks for calling, Chris.
Thanks for calling.
Number 1 in the world.
So that means you're going to lose bad.
You're
gonna get stomped.
Listen, brother.
That's not what it's about for Carlos anymore.
I already know I'm gonna lose. Like that's a given. I'm still new to this. I think it took over a year before I won a match of X-Wing at Armada. Right? Let alone, this Blood Bowl thing.
Yeah.
It will come. I'm learning to play. I'm learning.
Sure.
That was cool of Chris to call in. He is Florida man because he wears a Florida bandana like Mr. Miyagi or Danielson
Yeah.
on his head.
You sure it's not because of the other things that Florida is known for?
No, that's part of it too.
Okay, there you go.
Could be. So that's what you're doing this weekend then. So Saturday you're doing that. Saturday, just since we're already on the topic, I guess we're having our monthly game day, second Saturday game day. So there'll be a group of us meeting especially since your turn is booked already. We're going to be over at Armada Games. So anybody who's in the area, in the Tampa area, that wants to join us Saturday, Armada, I believe, opens at Saturday at noon. I'm planning to be there at noon. And they close at, it's either 11 or 12, and I'm planning right now to shut the place down, so I'll be there all day.
Oh, we got another one.
For anybody who wants to join us.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Mitchell from Louisiana. What's up?
Hey, Mitchell from Louisiana. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. What about you guys?
God, I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you, brother.
I know. It's been crazy, right?
Yeah.
What y'all may not know is over the last couple days, Mitchell and I have been getting up in the morning and
online.
playing some, using cameras here set up to play Red Rising against each other.
Okay, cool.
So he has his board set up at home with his Red Rising. I have my board set up here with Red Rising. He's got his deck sorted out by color. And as I play cards to the board, I just tell him what color it is, what name it is. He pulls it out and mimics me.
Sure.
I have to say, Robert, and Mitchell will agree with me, our games virtually have been faster than games in person.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting.
I 100% agree. Yeah, what Carlos brought up today during our game was, I was kind of saying, like, wow, how is this faster than in real life? And he brought up a good point. Like, if he needs to pick up and look at a card or something, he can do that without inhibiting my turn because I have an entirely other board. And it took me a couple minutes to alphabetize and sort my decks by color and all of that.
Oh, you alphabetized too?
Yeah, of course, man. I got to be extra.
That's a big much.
That's a little extra. Yeah, that's extra.
But anyway, because it only took me an extra second to grab each card, and so we were saving more than a second every time by both being able to see the board at the same time, and it went very quickly. The other day we got 2 games in and probably total playing time about an hour, if we cut out all the talking in between.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
And we got a match in this morning. We played 3 matches total. I'll let Mitchell tell the results.
Okay. Well, so in the first round, it was really, really close. And actually, I prematurely declared myself as the winner, but there was one category I forgot to account for Carlos, and he did beat me in that one. And in the 2 games since then, though, I've had him. So right now, I'm 2-3. Until next time.
2 and 3, huh?
297 was your highest?
I think, yeah, that was this morning. Yeah, I want to break that 300 so badly, but
I keep hearing people online saying that 300 is kind of the score to go for. This 300 is a really good score. So
Robert got 300 the last time we played, but we messed up the end game condition, so he had a couple extra rounds.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I can count it as a real 300.
Right, because he cheated.
From me. Yeah,
he cheated.
Take that away from me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, each of those 3 games were wildly different. Even the 2 that we played pretty much back-to-back were completely different. It all has to do with how the cards come out.
Right.
And Carlos has been really good at playing that house series that he keeps randomly getting. It's crazy, the odds. And the series, what it does is whenever you get the Sovereign token, it allows you to banish a card from the board, which compared to some of the other houses that bump you up on the victory point track, it seems at first kind of lackluster. But what Carlos realized is he started having to really counterplay me because I was
thinking about this in the shower last night.
It's just a game.
I would play a card, and then I would pick up another one, and I'd play that on top of it and have these nice little combos. And so what he started doing was not just banishing the cards that I kept replaying, but first he would pick them up himself, play them one round, and kind of use that combo I was using, and then get rid of the cards, which was really crippling for me.
There you go. Yeah, it was smart.
It worked out.
I gotta say, thanks for playing with me.
More games of Red Rising for me has really solidified my enjoyment of this game, and I know I have close friends, who have said the opposite, right? Where they feel that the game has kind of waned the more they've played it, and I think for me it's been the opposite because I'm starting to understand that the game is a deck like a Magic the Gathering style, right, hand management game, but the game is based on what's on the table and what's in your hands plural, you and your opponents,
Yeah.
and you got to figure out how to manipulate that set of cards in a way that's going to gain you the bonuses and the points that you need.
Sure. Yeah.
So I stopped thinking about, well, I want what's in the deck. I started thinking, what do I see here that I can manipulate in succession to be able to combo, control the board, and points? And that changed my whole perspective. My points values have gone up in what I'm earning, but Mitchell still beat me. And of our best of 3, he got 2 games. I got 1.
Yeah, I fully agree with what you're saying about the more plays, the more that you learn the deck a little bit. And I could see how some people could see that as a negative. And you, don't get me wrong, you don't have to know the deck in order to enjoy it, but it definitely, I mean, just with any game, the more you play it, the more you familiarize yourself with it. But you're absolutely right that the more you play it, the more you realize how it's meant to be played. So the base rules are very simple to understand. But to do well at the game and to do well at that consistently from game to game, it takes a little bit of time to figure that out. And it's definitely been a joy for me to figure that out. The first time I played it, I was like, okay, that's fun. It's a little bit less expected, but I could see how there could be some strategy. And it's like every game exploring kind of a different layer of that strategy has been a lot of fun. And I'm sure William and Rob over there might be getting tired of us talking about Red Rising almost every week here now. But it was Carlos' fault this time. Don't blame me.
Yeah.
He asked to play something else. I said, no, I want to play Red Rising.
Oh,
so he said, well, you want to try something else? I said, no, let's play again. Because it's okay. So,
you want
it's
to
good.
win. You want to win.
It's not that I want to win. It's the comboing feels so good. When you get a good turn where you combo a couple of turns together into like control of a track, right? And then you get some not points, right? But some actions that let you do things to either hurt your opponent or gain some new cards. It just feels good. A little like endorphin rush.
Yeah, like there were these 2 cards that we kept trading back and forth today. One of them said, if you have more points on the fleet track, then give this card to your opponent, but you get 2 cards. And there was one that did the same thing, but for the helium. And so there was also another card that was letting
and
you...
the reporter. The vlogger and the reporter.
Something like that. Yeah, they were purple. And then, but there was another card that was like, make your opponent lose 2 helium. And so we were constantly trying to get above each other on those 2 tracks to be able to gain those extra cards. And I think we both finished with 9 cards, which is not easy to do because you start with 5,
right?
And it's not easy to get extra cards, and those cards have lots of points on them.
Good match. All right, homie, what else you got going on?
I actually wanted to bring up a game I played for the first time last night. Our local board game shop in Lafayette. It's been open for a little bit now, but it hasn't been big on having gaming nights until very recently. And yesterday was my first Wednesday of summer, so it was my first time back since before the pandemic. I got to do a Teacher Red Rising. We played it at 6 players for the first time. Played a couple other games. One new one that I'd never heard of. It's not really big out there yet. It's called Lose on Rails. So it's a cube rail game. It made me think a little bit of whenever you guys were talking about Whistle Stop. It's really unique. So it's set in the Philippines. And, you're building these tracks across, and there are different spaces that maybe cost more to put your tracks there, or, that you get benefits if you're there. But what's really cool about it is there's 5 different train lines and it's 5 different companies, and you auction off stocks for each one. And there's a finite amount of stocks for each company. And so however much dividends each railroad company pays is split up amongst the stocks. So if you have more people having that stock, it's bad because you have to share the profits, but also they're also going to be building the engine for that, the engine
you're kind
for
of in
that
it
company
together
as well. Yeah, and so whenever you sell stock, the stock goes to the company so that they have more money to build more tracks. It's really unique. It's not a huge game. It was kickstarted at I think the goal was €10,000. It's a guy, I think, in Ireland. So really kind of under the radar game, but it was a big hit with us. It's not the prettiest looking game. It's very simple in terms of the aesthetics, but man, the gameplay is really in depth.
Yeah, I've got it up here on the BGG. We're looking at some pictures of it, and everything you've said so far sounds very 18XX. I mean,
right? That's what's going on in my mind.
Said is exactly 18XX.
Not good for me.
I have not gotten into 18XX yet. I will play one eventually, but it's...
well, we can get somebody to come teach us.
Yeah.
Mitchell, let me ask, what was the play time like, and not just play time like direct time, but like the feels, right? Overstaying its welcome, finishing too early. What'd you think?
Well, we actually made one mistake because actually the guy that was teaching us, it was his first time playing. There on the board there are 6 rounds, and it can go to a maximum of 6 rounds. But there are some game in triggers, and we were on like round 4, and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a game in trigger," and to where it should have already been triggered. But we said, let's just keep going because we're having fun with it, and you didn't mention it. And so we went one more round, but then the tracks are finite, and so we were running out of actions to do. And so we said, okay, let's call it after round 5. But it was, I think, probably with the teach and everything, only about an hour. It was pretty quick, and we
beautiful.
wanted more. So, yeah.
I like train games.
5 people, I think.
I really do like train games. I'm going to have to find a way to get a hold of this one. This is because I loved what you talked about with the shares, right? Because we have shares in Whistle Stop, but in Whistle Stop, all that matters is that you have the most shares of that company at the end of the game, right? Anyone else that has shares in that company, other than going to the stock market at the end space, would be the only way to benefit from shares in a company that you don't have the most in. But in this one, it seems like it balances that across the board.
Yeah. So, like, there was one guy that he was the only one that had shares in a company, and they're just really cool thing. They use dice. You never roll the dice. There are colored dice for each company, and they track how much that company is worth. And so, like, let's say if the die is on the 3 side, that means every time it moves up by 3. And so you can do things to flip it to the 4 side and the 5 side. So there was one guy, his die was on the lowest value amount, but he was the only one that had stock in that company. So he was actually making more money than us because the company was making less, but he was getting all of it. And so you're finding that balance, and I like it a lot.
And you said it was set in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, Luzon, the big island in the Philippines. It kickstarted, I think, in August. It just fulfilled a few weeks ago, and it's actually on GameFound right now. I ordered myself a copy literally last night.
What's the
and it
price
already
on that?
shipped. So, it was in euro, so I don't know.
Hey, Rob, go ahead and log into my account. Can you pull me an order of that?
Convert some euro. Let's see.
Well, shipping.
Let's see. GameFound, Luzon Rail. Yeah, the shipping was the big thing.
Yeah,
it's 26 euro. It looks like.
So probably around
which is not bad.
$40
with shipping. It's gonna be up there.
Probably if I pay under $50-$60, I like train games.
Yeah,
Mitchell, thank you for that one, man.
Yeah, sure. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to understand, but a lot of strategy going underneath it. So one of our players, what he did was he diversified. He got stock in every single company, and he thought he was going to win. He was like within $2 of winning. But another guy, what he did was he got a few stocks, and then in the last couple of rounds, he stopped buying because money is victory points. So, just like if you're buying stocks in real life, before you retire, you're not going to keep buying stocks until the day you retire, right? You want to start making money at some point.
Yeah.
So the last couple of rounds, what he was doing was he was calling auctions. So we were all spending all our money, and he wasn't even bidding in the auction that he called. So he came out on top.
Gosh, yeah,
I'm really seeing these nuances,
interesting to see, but with 18XX, I mean, this is just like everything he's saying sounds just like way 18XX games have been explained to me. So
but at the 2.5 weight rating, which is what matters to me. Like I want that 18XX feels, but I don't want the 4.75 rating that goes with it.
Look and see here
or
with
the 8-hour-long game.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so like I said, not the prettiest components. The box is a little bit plain to me. The board is a little bit plain, but I'd rather a good game with lackluster components.
I mean, that is one I've never heard of, and it is pushing all the right buttons.
Well, that's what you get a 3D printer for.
Now the components, it looks like Ticket to Ride trains. Is that what's coming with it?
So okay, in the copy I played, it was just cubes. There was a version on the Kickstarter.
Settle down, Robert. Settle down.
Cubes.
Settle down, Robert.
Real excited for cubes.
Said cubes. It's the word of the day.
The Kickstarter gave a print and play option to where you just print out the cards and the map, and you use your own trains and money. And then there was a version where you would get like everything you could print. They would send you a copy of, but you still use your own trains and money. So I think in the box, if you get the whole version, it's cubes. But the versions you may be seeing online are where people provided their own train pieces.
And I can do that. I've got the Roxley tokens from Brass.
There you go.
And I've got plenty of Ticket to Ride games I can use tokens.
Grab some trains out of,
That'll work.
Now, I don't know if that option is still available on GameFound. That was on the Kickstarter.
Okay, I'll look. I am going to look. I'm going to get myself in trouble here.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some more games.
It looks like Luzon Rails no box is an option on the GameFound. A folio copy
Ooh,
His IQ
Raph
includes
is in the
huge money
comments, and he
development
says he
token.
needs it too. So I'm going to let Raph buy it.
Oh, okay. Stay out of trouble.
I think that's his world. I'll let him have that one,
Okay.
and then I'll just play his copy.
Yeah,
Hey, Mitchell.
sounds like a plan. Well, I'm sure you have other callers waiting to call in, so I'll leave it
I really
at that.
do hope. That's why I count on you to fill in at least
Yeah,
10,
man.
15 minutes at a time, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good news
Yeah,
is
for sure. I hope you guys have
Mitchell
another
will be
night
in
like last
town,
week.
coming to Tampa
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
on the week of the 21st. So that Thursday, he will be here live to record with us.
Sweet.
So we plan on playing, all of us,
Awesome.
playing something and getting
Not that one.
a session in.
that game.
Luzanne Rails?
No.
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 Skip that one for Will, not Will's game. Yeah.
No.
Enjoy your summer. I know you and your wife both. I got to meet her on virtual. She was poking fun at us for playing board games over TV.
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't? Yeah.
She's like, you could play that online, right? And like not have to touch cards. Your wife's amazing. Look
cards
forward to
are the
meeting
good
all
part.
y'all when you get down here.
Yeah, same here. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks for calling, you too.
Thanks.
That's Mitchell from Louisiana. I'm looking forward to really meeting him. Mitchell is also the one that sent us the After the
Got the
Empires.
Empire. Yeah, we got
so I
displayed
think
out
he's
here.
setting it up because he didn't want to travel with it. So now it's going to be here, and maybe it's something we can play the Thursday that he's here.
Cool, yeah.
Probably Wednesday and Thursday.
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday, get some games in that day.
Cool.
I know William can't hang. He's got to work early.
No.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Not a late
Some
nighter.
He can hang Thursday nights.
Some teachers are off, but no, I'm sorry. Some
You're,
work-
you're still supporting the
I'm
school
still
system.
supporting the school system.
And we appreciate you, William, for supporting the school system.
Being a school guy.
That was Luzanne Rails. And
Hopefully, we're pronouncing that
Raph
correctly.
said it. It's his people. I knew it.
Oh, his people.
I was throwing it out
It's
there.
his parts.
Just kind of reeling it to see if it hooked.
If
it
he
worked.
fished it in.
He confirmed. It's his people. I'm right. So I'll let him buy that one.
Cool. Yeah.
I like the idea. I don't know. Am I the only one here who likes train games?
Yeah, they're okay. I mean, I don't get excited about them like you apparently do, but
I'm
yeah.
going with him.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all right.
They're okay, but not
Yeah,
like you don't want to play them all.
not super exciting. And you being such a theme guy, I'm surprised. I mean,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
chains
it's
or
just-
trains.
But so and this is probably why I like Brass Birmingham so much.
Oh,
Is train games tend to do the theme thing well,
okay,
right? Like Whistle Stop, right?
I disagree.
You can disagree. You can sit over there and disagree all you want, and you can have the counterpoint when I'm done here. I think train games tend, maybe not Ticket to Ride as much because that's very light.
Yeah, that's
But like this Luzanne Rails, right? ATNXX games. There's just something about the locomotive system of lane line, moving goods, delivering goods, getting money, stocks. All those things lend to the historicity. Is that a word? Historicity
Yeah.
Historical.
part of like establishing America's rail systems, right?
She liked the industrial.
You ever seen what's that show? Hell. Oh man, it was the train show.
Hell, trains.
On
I
the
don't
frozen
know.
wasteland.
No, it was post Civil War, and the guy was helping to set up the Transcontinental Railroad. Anyway, great show. I love those shows, and I like those games. Give me your counterpoint, William. It's on you.
Well, I agree with you. The brass game definitely has more theme than any other type of train game. Sorry. I mean, train game could be a train. It can be truck drivers.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it
with,
can be
with
it can
trains.
be
I feel like
boats.
you could pace so many things on the same game.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can literally do any mode of transporting goods from A to B.
Yeah, pick up and deliver some boats,
That's
some airplanes.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
All train games are
Automobiles.
Yep, exactly. That's what I think. But brass, even though I haven't played it, but I've seen it being played. Now that's got theme.
I think so. Robin
bit.
may not as much.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
I'm
a
with
little
William
bit.
on that one.
Mhm.
Brass has
So,
theme.
and you know me, I don't really care for those type of games too much, but I would play that one definitely over any other train game.
Diego's talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. Hell on Wheels. That's my boy
Hell on
Wayne.
Wheels, okay.
Hell on Wheels. That's the show.
I've heard of it. I have no idea what it's about.
And
but
not
yeah.
really PG.
Oh, really? Not a kiddie show.
Do you think we are PG?
Yeah, not quite.
Bean Tonight's podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Ben from Tampa calling.
Well, hello,
Hey,
Ben.
Ben.
Well, hello, gentlemen. How's it going?
Doing
Good, how are
well.
you?
What topic do you have for us today?
I wanted to just talk briefly. I had a thought the other day. I was when I came to my first second Saturday with you guys
Ah, cool.
up there. Your turn. We played in that little unmatched tournament and had a real good time playing that. I hadn't played unmatched before. And then, of course, Rob and I got into High Frontier a week later, and that was quite a different
scooped
take
your
on
brains back into the bucket and then brought them home for you?
That one was a big one.
Wow.
That would be a combination of Rob and Dan. I was on the floor, curled in a fetal position.
We were all supporting each other during that one. I mean, there was a lot of blank stares going around there for a while, at least for me. So
didn't you tell me there was like an hour and a half learning?
Yeah,
just to learn the game.
We had to take a dinner break while we were doing the teach. So it was something. Yeah.
All right, so you played High Frontier.
Yeah, so I had a thought after that, and I was like,
you had a brain left for a thought.
It's the only thought I've had since then. Let me be clear, but it's playing Unmatched. It was just kind of light and breezy, and I was just having I was playing it quick and loose and all that kind of stuff. But with High Frontier, putting all that time and all that effort into it, it was kind of like I became very much invested in even the story of my little corporation and everything like that. And I was curious about if you guys had a similar kind of thing where like your desire to win, or I guess for not really putting it the right way, but your desire to win kind of goes along with the amount of time, I guess, you put into and invest in a game.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say so. Yeah, and I'm going to think about one of the longest games I play on any kind of semi-regular basis. Not even nearly. He knows what's coming. Not even nearly as much as Carlos, because I don't enjoy it quite as much. But,
say it.
But Twilight Imperium, TI4. That's a game that I can only get up for about once or twice a year, and I know it's going to be a 6-hour, 8-hour experience. And we don't rush through that game. Our group, when we play it, we tend to take our time. I mean, we've had a few that we've said from the beginning, hey, we just need to get through this. We need to keep.
We say that, but it still goes 10 hours.
It usually doesn't happen, but we have times when we try to do that. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I prep before I get there a little bit for that game. Mentally, I know going in, I'm like, all right, I'm getting ready to invest 6-8 hours into this game. I'm going to try to win it. I'm not going to go in and go halfway. So no, I agree 100%. With High Frontier, obviously, it was a little different experience. We were learning. I didn't really know completely what I was getting into. That game's not as publicized as popular. So it was like Dan was telling us what it was about, and I was like, all right, cool. We're flying, we're building some little rocket ships, launching them into space. We got this crazy map with all these intersecting lines, and we're talking about momentum and inertia and gravity and all these things, and we're designed by a NASA engineer. So it's like, oh, okay, well this sounds pretty cool. But so I was, but as you said, the further we got into the game, I definitely got more and more invested in it. And so we'd had a couple guys who had to leave early. Lonnie and Mike had to leave before we were done. But I was like, I had planned on being here all day for this game, so I'm gonna stick it out, and I'm gonna do what I can to try to get it won. And I had a big comeback at the end. Pretty lucky. I finally got my stuff launched into space. I was the last one to get into space, but by the time I got there, I had so many parts that I had bought up throughout the thing. I just was able to build a couple of really awesome ships and snuck out a win in that game. But yeah, definitely one I'm looking forward to playing again.
Yeah, for sure. And that was a really interesting tactic that you took in piling all that space junk, as we kept calling it.
It was not intentional.
Right?
I
heard about
was trying to get my stuff into space, but yeah, it worked out.
But and it worked really well because because my second rocket blew up, which was just awesome.
Exactly.
But
we play North Korea.
I went exactly. I went the other way, and I tried to build a really heavy rocket right out of the gate to get to Mars and lay out a colony that way. And it didn't occur to me until after I finally finished that cycle was that I had no cards in my hand and nothing to sell anything or to build another rocket with. Yep. Whereas you, with all that stuff piled into low Earth orbit, you had all this room in your hand to keep auctioning and all that stuff. And I just was like, okay, so that's a really interesting way to manage that 4-card hand limit.
Right, and it literally took me 4 hours into the game before I asked that question of Dan. I was like, oh, hold on, you can just launch all of your junk into low Earth orbit, just keep it kind of floating on your space station around the planet, and you don't even have to build it. You can just send it up, here and there, but that clears your hand. I talked a little bit about that when we talked about it was last week or the week before.
Week before maybe.
That you've got once you get 4 cards in your hand, you can no longer participate in auctions, and you can't keep trying to get stuff. But I was the first one to realize, oh, hold on, you just launched this crap into space, and then it clears my hand, and now I can keep buying more stuff. So, but yeah, by the time I got my first rocket built, I think I had, gosh, it was about 10 cards.
Like hour 6.
Yeah, just floating around in space there.
Yeah.
So
Is that when you asked Dan, hey, can we reset and start over?
I did ask Dan at one point. I said when
4 hours in,
about 4 hours in, I was like, all right, now that we know what we're doing, let's reset this and start over. But nobody liked that idea.
That's a table flip right there.
All right, William, tell me about games that you invest time and energy into. How does it impact your desire to win?
I'm
Ben's
gonna
question.
say games with story. Games, maybe campaign games, maybe cooperative games, semi-cooperative games.
Swords and Sorcery.
No, I'm talking about like Dead of Winter.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Where hey, you know what? You don't lose.
Who
you
goes
don't
there? That's that new one that you're looking forward to.
Because you don't win, but you just want to see what are you doing over there? What are you doing in that corner? Oh, it worked. How the hell did that work? And that's a good story for other people to share. Say, hey, this is what so and so did in this game. We played 3 hours, but at the end of 3 hours, we all had a good time, even though most of us lost, which is fine.
Right.
But when I do want to win, it's like war games. You know that. When I play against you, it's like, nope, this is a 2-hour game.
It could be a 30-minute war game. And
I want to stomp you dead. I want to make sure you...
The only investment is the fact that we lined up across battle lines. He wants that win.
Yeah.
Robert stole my thunder on Twilight Imperium 4th Edition to answer your question,
Always,
Ben.
yeah.
He stole my thunder and I went out. Same answer. That game, you invest so much time in expanding that you really want to see your faction eke out at least a podium, right? Top 3 or something.
Yeah, for sure.
But in a game that doesn't do it for me, I guess I'm taking your question and flipping to my own. And a game that doesn't do it for me is Terraforming Mars. I could play that game for 4 or 5 hours. I don't care where I end up on the scoring spectrum. I just really enjoy building that engine and watching it hum.
Strangely, I would agree with you on that. Yeah, it's one of my favorite all-time games.
And I lose every time.
But yeah, I usually don't do well at it. I tell everybody that every time we play. I usually don't do well at this game, and that was the same with Caverna. But that's a long game that it doesn't matter to me whether that game takes 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours.
I want to see what it looks
it.
like with the new tile set,
The big box,
because it's gonna look.
You have it, right?
Yeah, when we play it, I know we're gonna play it, it's gonna look beautiful on the board. And even if you lose, you're gonna be like, look, that's what all of us made.
What for you, Ben? You mentioned it as High Frontier, but is there any other games that impact you on that feeling of investment of time versus desire to win?
Yeah, I mean, anything that I'm putting more than an hour of my time into, I'm going to be fully invested in. And that's not to say even shorter games, I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever. But for me, it's similar to William. It's going to be the competitive kind of head-to-head. Like Cthulhu Wars is my jam, and I'm always going to be invested in Cthulhu Wars. I'm going to be watching the board like a hawk, seeing what everybody else is doing, following everybody else's moves, and just really keeping an eye on stuff. So those kind of games, the area control type stuff is definitely something that I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm putting a lot of my mental capacity into this game. So yeah,
I will say that
cool, guys.
Another game that I get like really invested is when I played against Chester. Played
Sekigahara.
Yeah, that takes a while to learn, a while to play, and I got invested even though I lost, but I was invested in the game.
But you were teaching the new gamer a war game. I can't okay. My thing with war games and like new gamers, you can't No Chill Will has to kind of hide during that. Like when Ben showed up and we taught him Unmatched. My worry was that he would get stomped and like chase his desire away to play. Did that happen, Ben?
No, not at all. And it was for that very reason. And it's actually funny. I can't remember a couple of the guys' names. The younger guys, of course, they were hardcore into
Machismo,
it. But it was like, I mean, I was like, okay, this is Unmatched, and I'm throwing down a card, in a matter of seconds and making moves in a matter of seconds. And I played somebody that it was just like I was like, dude, just move. Just put a card down. Come on.
Park
But,
Rob Hunter.
Oh, was it really? Oh, Rob Hunter.
Maybe.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I don't know.
Was he
I mean, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
was he doing
But
the
yeah,
AP
I mean,
stuff?
Yeah,
I
AP.
played. Yeah,
I
played
will
against
say
a
that
kid who was-
William didn't allow, but Chester did win.
Yes.
Right,
No,
so
he won legitimately. I
He
mean,
won.
yeah,
So
he won.
that William, you did your job. You taught a new gamer a game, and you didn't destroy him at it to take away their desire. So I think Ben agrees with me on that.
He was worried in the beginning, and then I
Yeah.
just kind of I think maybe you were talking to me somewhere down the line, and I was hearing it in my voice in the head, but I kind of relaxed. I was
Good.
like, you know, I was like, no, I got.
Yep.
And then I just, you know what? Wait here, I'll just try something, and I did it.
You
And
know
I
what,
wa- and I
William?
lost.
William, for you,
Yeah, and that's
Achievement.
That's the key.
You've leveled up.
That's the key. Is I had to like. I mean, for years I was obsessed with always winning, no matter if it was my first game, first, third, 100th game, whatever. And then I just kind of adopted that same mindset. It's like, well, let me just try some stuff. Let me just see if this little strategy comes to fruition at all, or just play around a little bit. And especially now in first games, it's just like, I'm here, I want to learn this game. I'm here to have a good time.
Absolutely.
So I feel like I've kind of matured as a gamer that way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it comes a little bit with
But-
age. It comes a little bit with experience. And you mentioned the young guys that were machismo, and they were, puffing out their chest probably, and trying to stomp on each other. But I think as you get a little older and you get a little more seasoned as a gamer, as you play a little more, you start finding the fun in it, and especially those early games. The first game, it's always I'm always in there. Let's just try something a little weird and see what happens. So yeah.
That was a great phone call.
Absolutely.
That was an awesome phone call,
Yeah.
Ben. Thank you so much for the topic, man.
Well, real quick, no problem. Speaking of new gamers, the first game clinic out at
Yes,
Working
right.
Cafe
Ben
for
hosted a
Iowa
game
Cat.
clinic.
Yeah, teaching some new gamers, and they loved it.
Oh, okay.
Got hopefully some new people into the hobby, so it was a lot of fun.
You
But
taught
I won't take up any more time.
Yeah, you just real quick. You taught a couple of games, right? It was Isle of Cats, and then you taught something else.
I taught Isle of Cats, and then Dan, the owner, taught Tyrants of the Underdark.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Great
Okay.
game.
Yep. Great
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Great game.
one of our
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
Tyrants is
Deck
it's
building
really good.
plus area control.
And guess what? They did a
chef's kiss.
reprint.
Yeah, and it's really
Yeah.
they're getting ready to come out with a new reprint of it. And
It's all cubes in the new reprint, though. There's no minis. William's just sank in his seat.
Oh, no.
I'm glad I have the original. Let me just say that. But yeah,
Oh, really?
That's a really
I was going to buy the
underrated game.
reprint and
Give
trade
me
you
the
the cubes
for the
because
minis.
you love cubes.
No, I'll still take the minis. All right, Ben. Thanks for calling.
All right, guys,
Don't be
cool.
a stranger.
No
Well,
problem.
Saturday
Yeah,
is
talk to you
game day.
later.
Hopefully, we'll see you there.
You see what?
Yep, I'll try.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
See that? Don't hide the no chill will.
Yeah. The Amada Games Wizard says, "Don't hide the no chill will."
Oh yeah, just let it out.
Maybe that will happen on Saturday. We'll see.
Let it out. Let it out.
No, I think Will did well. Will did very well. He taught a new gamer, someone new into wargaming.
I will have
Yeah.
a caveat. When it's against you, no,
No, not gonna happen. Not gonna
Not
happen.
gonna happen.
Not gonna do it.
And I'd expect nothing less.
Not gonna do it.
That was Ben from Tampa. We talked a little bit about Unmatched. High Frontier, man. I can't believe you jumped into that. That's
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. So maybe Dice Tower. We're gonna reset it and try it again.
Well,
so
convention. That's a great convention game.
yeah, that's a good one. You can just spend all day.
we were talking about that for Dice Tower, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Dice Tower might
and some
break it out,
morning,
try-
William.
For that kind of game.
Yeah, I think William wasn't here for that show.
Oh no, yeah. He missed
when
it,
Dan
yeah.
called in, he talked about teaching us when we go to Dice Tower.
That'd be great. I mean, because you have the time invested for that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
big long games like that, one whole day, just melt your brain.
Epic.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's just
Armada says, as a correction, not a reprint. It is a second edition.
that. Oh, for Tyrants.
I wonder if there's any rules changes. or
Yeah, I
anything.
don't know. I hadn't heard.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Wait to see.
I want to buy a copy because it's just a good game.
I think the second edition has the expansion with it.
built into
It
it.
does, yeah.
Which you took you a while to hunt down the expansion.
Yeah, it was hard to find there. Yeah.
So that was Tyrants of the Underdark. We talked Caverna.
We played Cockroach Poker too.
Yeah, play a little cockroach poker.
That's always a good one.
Yeah, that's a fun little filler type game. I
Phone
guess
lines
you call
open,
it.
813-618-7099 for you folks out there. 813-618-7099 is the number. If you're willing to call, we're willing to talk.
But yeah, Cockroach Poker, a little card game, that a little bluffing game. You basically just however many people you have at the table, you deal out of the cards, and then you're trying to lie to each other.
Well, see, what I'm going to do now is let you and William talk, and I'm going to refill our beers.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. We got about 10 minutes left in the show here.
Give or take.
Hopefully we'll get another call. But yeah, so Cockroach Poker, we played 2. We were just trying to kill maybe 30 or 45 minutes before I had to leave, and Mo left I think at the same time I did. But we were just trying to find a quick little game. We said, hey, let's just play some Cockroach Poker. So I think Muhammad had brought along his copy, and yeah, that's a fun game. It's just like I say, you deal them all out. You try to lie to each other. Or you have was it 6 different types of bugs or 8 different?
8.
Or it's 9 actually. I think. What's
64 cards. 64.
Yeah, it's 8. You're right.
yeah,
It's
so,
8 of 8 different types, and you're basically you're looking at your hand. You're putting a card face down on the board. You're sliding it to somebody, and then you're just naming one of the 8 bugs in the game, and they have to either decide, do they believe that what you told them is correct, in which case they can call your bluff, and they can say yes it is and flip it over, and if you were lying to them, then they have to take the card back, or if you called it correct, they take the card back, and you're playing until somebody has 4 of one type of bug face up in front of them. So you're stacking them and kind of laying them all out. And we played a 4-player game, so when you see somebody that's got a couple of bugs face up, you're trying to lie and get this. So if you've got 3 spiders in front of you, yeah, I'm gonna pass you spiders. I'm gonna try make you take that 4th spider. So, but good game.
That's a good game, especially to play with new players, people you never met before. Some random person walks up to the table, say, hey, let's play this, because you don't know how well they lie.
Yeah. You can find out a lot about a person when you're trying to force them into lying.
It's definitely not a good game to play with people you've known for decades.
Yeah. Carlos doesn't like playing with me.
But
I try to lie to him, but
he's honest though. In the game, he goes, "Yeah, Carlos would like to play this game. Why? Because he knows when I lie."
He does.
Yeah, pretty much.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's Raph from Tampa.
Hey, hello, Raph.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good. Another Thursday night. How about you?
Got another cold beer in my hand.
Yeah.
Got you on the phone. Got board games on the table, brother. Can things be any better?
What's going on? What do you want to talk about?
That's a life, living a life. Just talking about games we played this week. We played a lot of games over throughout the week, and
cool.
One of my new favorite games is Architects of the West Kingdom.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't believe either one of these other 2 guys have played that, so you and I can chat about that one a little bit. I'm going to pull it up here on the BGG, but tell us about Architects.
Yeah, I like it because it's worker placement, but you know how most worker placements you start off with a low amount of workers, then you work your way up for more workers.
Right.
I love it that you can right at the beginning.
Oh, you cut out there for just a second, but you get all your workers right at the beginning is what you said there, I think.
Yeah, 20 workers at the beginning, which is crazy. There's a lot of choices to make.
There are, yeah. It's like you say, that's one of the biggest twists in the game is that almost every other worker placement game, you have the option to maybe go get another worker or 2, or some of them dole the like Everdell, where every certain number of rounds you're going to get an extra worker. But in this one, you get all of them. I didn't realize it was 20, but you get all of them right at the beginning, and then you
That's got to be more than double of what any other worker placement game I know
I'm
of.
gonna go with triple on that one.
Yeah,
probably triple.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's overwhelming at the beginning, but then once you start playing, it's fast. It's really fast.
Well, how long are the rounds then?
So when we played with 2 players, it only took about an hour.
The whole game?
To play.
Yeah,
so
that's about right.
the whole game.
How many rounds are you playing?
And it's that's the cool thing about that game too. There are no rounds, so there's no downtime in resetting everything and flipping things and then recalling workers.
Right.
It's just basically the whole game. You have 20 workers and you just go until the end of the game.
Right. You have ways that you get workers back. There's a couple various different ways, but you can round up other people's workers and take them to jail. And I guess just explaining a little about the mechanics of the game. As you put workers into spaces, the more workers you have in a space, the better the benefit gets. Like if I have 1 worker out in the forest, when I place that first worker, I take 1 piece of wood. If I place a second, my next turn, if I put another worker there, the workers stay on the board, then I have 2 workers there. So when I put my second worker, I get 2 pieces of wood. If I put my third worker, when I place place that one, I get 3 pieces of wood. Well, as people see you start to monopolize areas, one of the actions they can do is they can use a worker to round up all of your workers at a location and clear them to the jail. And so they round them up and take them to jail. So now you have no workers left in the forest. You then have to take an action to go and recover your workers from the jail to get them back into your hands so that you can start placing them.
You gotta go visit the bail bondsman.
Yeah, exactly. And so you get different benefits. You get benefits for rounding up other people's workers. You get benefits for going and recovering your workers from jail. So
Who owns this one?
I know Nick Oben.
Terry or Oben?
Oben in our group has it. I played it with him.
Okay, I want to play this.
Yeah, it's a good one. And you have a copy?
If you really like worker placement, I just picked up a copy, and it's not hard to learn at all.
Right.
And the other thing is there's a lot of player interaction when it comes to like rounding people up and blocking people in that way. But all of the like worker placement spots, they're very like a lot like you can't really block anybody. It's just rounding up people.
My question was just answered. I was wondering if it was actually wood you get. No, it's cubes.
There's a little wooden meeples and then wooden cubes, and then it actually comes with the metal coins. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, I think this one had the metal coins. I know what Nick's copy did. So, it's a fun game.
And there's no limit to the number of workers you can put places. So I was wondering about like running out of spaces.
Well, that board looks tiny, so I was wondering
your
about
limit is created by your opponents because now you created an area that entices them to put you in jail. This is nice.
Right. As you keep putting him in, and they see that by placing another worker, he's going to get 4 gold now over there in the mine every time he places a worker. I'm going to go ahead and take a turn, even though it's going to penalize me a turn, basically. Although, again, you get a little benefit by rounding them up and sending them to jail. But I'm going to take
how far can I push it, right? Like, how many people can I put there before I trigger No Chill Will, who comes and arrests all my people?
Exactly. So you're trying to spread them around. You're trying not to do things that aren't beneficial to you. But again, you don't want to keep doing that same action over and over and over again because you're just going to make yourself a target for somebody to come jump on your back. So, really cool mechanics.
That's a good game to start with.
Yeah, and that's not even like the coolest part of it, in my opinion. The coolest part is like I think it's like honor track on the side. So everybody starts in the middle of the honor track. And then when you do certain actions, like if you go to the black market, right, it's cheaper for you to do things at the black market, but you lose honor. And if you lose too much honor, then you can't take the actions to build on the cathedral, which is which is where you get a lot of victory points.
A lot of points. And I think if I remember, that triggers the end of the game as well, right? Is when the temple's built? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, your goal is you're an architect, right? And you're trying to build for the king, the cathedral or whatever it's called. But if if you go too low on the honor track, you can't build because you're bad, right? But then if you're also too good, like if you go up on the valor track or honor track, if you're a goody two shoes, then you can't go to the black market. Like it's like full balance of like, all right, I stay in the middle, and then when I really want to build on the cathedral, I need to move my honor up. But if I go down, like I can get stuff for cheap.
I see a strategy already.
Yeah, there's definitely a trade-off there because you got to go to that black market, like you say, you keep losing honor, but you can get stuff everywhere on the board, but the black market, you can get like twice as much of everything you're looking for.
You get real efficient, but you get some bad. What was that game? Was in a video game called, was it Fable? Fables?
A Fable? Fable.
Right, where like your game, your like good guy, bad guyness changed as you made decisions, whether to help or hurt people. I think Call to Adventure has a similar track to this. Your goody two-shoe badness. I don't even know what to call this track anymore. But if you go too far in the black, you can never play the good cards, like the white cards that are in your hand. So you kind of got to stay in that middle zone so you can have access to both sides. I like that.
So what else?
There's a balance, because when you're bad, like you don't have to pay taxes either, because there is a tax fee for a lot of actions.
Is that when I become Wesley Snipes?
What else have you been playing?
7 Wonders Duel. I really love that game. That's such a good game.
That's a good one. I think that's probably one of Carlos and I's favorite 2-player games of all time. I mean, anytime you see a list of people's top 10 2-player games, I think that game just about always shows up. So,
with expansions, without expansions, where are you at with it?
Without expansions for now, because I just taught it to Rachel.
Good.
She loves it too.
Pantheon's expansion really helps that one grow. It doesn't. I will not say that it's like a must need expansion because the base game on its own is amazing.
Yeah, it almost is though, but yeah,
Well, after playing as much as we did,
yeah.
adding the Pantheons just gave it a fresh life.
It gives you another. The problem with have you played with any of the expansions, Ref?
No, I was just going to ask. My next question was,
Okay.
what do the expansions offer?
Well, the Pantheon one has some. I guess it's gods that come out, and the biggest thing that fixes in the game is that, as you probably know if you've played more than a couple of times, the I would say the pyramid, although there's different shapes that you lay out for the 3 different rounds, but the shapes that you lay out to take cards, eventually you can learn to math out. If I take this card, they have to take that card, and I'm going to take that card, and then they're going to get that card or that card, and so you can do kind of a math game, and you can kind of force your opponents into certain corners, which is
It's fun.
Certainly, it's a valid strategy in
pin
the
'em.
game. But the Pantheon adds another action you can do. Instead of taking a card off the board, you can do things up with the gods. And so it takes that math element away of you being able to look and be like, okay, if I take that, they're going to get that, I'm going to get that, and then that's going to do that and that and that. It adds another option of what you can do, which really, I assume a really smart person could probably still figure out if I do that, they're going to do that, which is going to cause that. But
Yeah,
it just
that's Nick.
further complicates that whole idea. So it adds just another level to the game. But I don't think it overly complicates it though. As far as
does not.
introducing it to Rachel, I don't know. It's
No, but just enjoy it as it is. Enjoy enjoy the base for
game
now.
is a great game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just love how balanced it is because, like, every time we were within like 2 points of each other every single time.
Oh yeah,
So it was pretty cool.
Have you played, William? Have you played Seven Wonders Duel? All right, we got to get that one to the table. No Chill Will come out.
For that one?
Yeah. You think it's not a war game? It is.
No, I know, I'm sure it is. It's just
Because you got a military track, you got a science track, and then you have there's
military
purple.
science.
No, green is science. Military is red.
isn't there culture?
There's culture.
Yeah.
The purple
Culture,
track.
Yeah.
It was just like Seven Wonders. but
Yeah.
same thing, but for just 2 players.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
I like playing the military track, getting all the military buildings, getting that track, and you're pushing. It's like literally, it's like a tug and pull, tug of war. There's a Minerva token that you're trying to push into your opponent's zone to beat their castle, and you get the victory. That tends to be the route I like to
So
go.
tug and pull is something a little different. But
yeah.
push and pull is what you're going for.
You said it. I'm looking at Rob. I'm like, oh.
I started cracking up a little bit, but all right. Anyway, but that's a good one. That's a classic, and I'm glad y'all are enjoying that one. That one's one that. But yeah, as soon as you start to feel a little stale on that, introduce that expansion, and then I don't know. There's one other expansion where
The
you have
new
boats
one,
and things. We haven't played that one.
Agora?
That might be it.
The
Yeah,
Agora?
We haven't tried that
It
one.
means
yet, so-
outside, I think.
Okay, yeah. But what else is on the list,
Agoraphobia.
Raphael?
Well, the one thing I want to bring this Saturday is Inish because that's been on my list for a long time.
Oh, okay. I
I don't know how to play it yet, but I'll try to learn it.
Okay, I was gonna say I was hoping you had played and could teach me, but that's a game for a couple of years now. It's never been at the very, very top of my list to play Inish. I'll pull it up here on the VGG. Will's asking what game it is, but Inish
It's
is
a big box game, isn't it?
It's
Like the box is beautiful. I think is like this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like I said.
Yeah, the new box is beautiful. Mo doesn't like the old box, the version 1.
Yeah,
or
it's Mo. Who cares? I'm sure either he's listening or
Is this the Dudes on a Map game?
No, it's tile.
Yeah,
it's weird
pretty-
tile.
there's
The
some
weird
dudes
shaped
on the map.
tiles.
It is. This is the Dudes on a Map game that I've seen. I do want to play this one.
Will come out Saturday. You can.
I got a Blood Bowl tournament.
Skip your Blood Bowl
Really
tournament.
easy.
I think
Yeah.
it is dudes on the map game, but with a complete different perspective. The way you play it.
Mitchell says he's going to have Innis on upcoming board game battle.
Inish. Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
Is there an S? Listen, English is not my first language.
Well, this isn't
and
English.
That don't
but,
look like
you know,
English.
it's definitely not English, but
Innis.
Inish. Innis.
You better
Tennis.
stop.
Play some tennis. Yeah, Inish. But yeah, so yeah, if you can, I'll watch some videos. I'll make sure I get some.
I think
some
Shut Up
learning
and Sit
on it.
Down did a video on
Oh,
this
yeah.
on why it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a 2017 game, so it's not a newer release. It's kind of an older game, but it's
y'all enjoy and report back next week.
yeah. It's like I said, for a few years I've been wanting to get this one to the table. It's never been the number one game on my list, but it's always been one that I've wanted to play. So yeah, we'll definitely knock that one out.
All right, so before you leave me, I'm counting on you. You're going to pick up Luzon Rails. Did I pronounce that right? Luzon Rails?
Yep.
Luzon, yeah. Like L-O, that's how it's pronounced, Luzon. But yeah, I'm definitely going to look to pick it up because it looks really good.
and I'm ready to play that one. That looks like a lot of fun. I'm getting corrected
for
here on
sure.
the comments. It is pronounced Inish, which is Gaelic for island.
There you go.
And he's got a master's degree, so I got to accept what he's saying. Thank you, Mitchell. All right, well, Raph, I think this is your first time calling. Am I right?
No.
Yeah.
Is it your first time
Yeah, I
calling?
think it's my first time
Oh,
calling.
you've been on the show
I want to hear you
several
say it.
times,
Long
but-
time listener, first time caller. Say it. Say it.
Long time listener and sometimes guest, first time caller.
There you go.
That's my buddy. All right, Raph. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game day
All right.
and report back next week.
I'll
Let
see
me
you
know what you're
Saturday,
playing.
Raphael.
Yep. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, you better know that.
Okay, so that puts me at 10 o'clock.
Right on an hour, yeah.
So unless somebody dials in immediately, or we're going to wrap this thing up. He says he only knows this because his honeymoon was in Ireland.
Mitchell, yeah.
Mitchell's saying this and has nothing to do with his degree, LOL.
Oh. Still dropping the degree in
Wait,
there.
doesn't he have a degree in history?
I think arts.
It's guess arts, but I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I'm the only one in this table without a degree. That's fine.
I was
okay.
35 when I got mine.
We're all here together. It don't matter.
And no matter where it's from, University of Phoenix, baby, we will rise.
We're here.
We will rise.
Shout out to George Mason University, baby. Northern Virginia, just outside of D.C. But anyway.
So on that note, we really, really want to encourage you to further your education, no matter what age.
Something like that.
It's
yeah.
important. Man,
Your PSA.
we didn't talk about. We
Anything-
talked about Caverna.
Just about anything that we did. Or
Right.
I wanted to get in, but that's fine. Yeah. That's the point
I
of this whole
love
thing.
it. And what I'm saying that I love it. I love
Yeah.
that the calls. And William was talking to me this week. He and I were on the phone talking about how we feel like it just might be too short. Like a 1 hour show just might not be long enough. I don't know if I'm ready to extend it much longer yet.
I think I was mostly going to the fact that you shouldn't put it to a schedule.
Yeah.
It's
just,
10.
Just tat.
Let it naturally end where you want it to be a 10, but if it goes to 10:05, 10:08, 10:15,
Yeah.
you're done. Then you're done.
We've done that.
Yeah,
I
1
mean,
hour is too short. That's what they're saying in the comments.
Yeah.
Because I think we can pick up more callers later. But I also know we're here and we have an opportunity to do some gaming,
Sure.
right? And
But we're here for them.
Oh, for them.
For
the
them.
callers.
Oh, for the
the
callers.
watchers.
I love this comment. And now you know.
And knowing's half the battle, right? Yeah.
It wasn't Go Joe. Wasn't it the star?
Yeah. Well, the more you know. Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah.
That might be trademark.
Yeah.
Be careful with that.
Well, we can only say it 4 times before we get a lawsuit.
But no, the time flies by. I did want to say, I wanted to mention Deliverance.
Yeah.
Deliverance is a game that I've been looking forward to seeing it come out to Kickstarter.
Not the movie.
I just watched that for the first time.
Oh, let's not go down that path right now. Yeah.
Stop.
I just watched that for the first time last week. Wow. That movie was nuts.
Enough said.
But no, been waiting 2 years for them to just go on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like someone in the chat's talking about they're still waiting for Infinity Defiance, sadly, right? And I get it, like once you buy it on Kickstarter, but like we've been knowing that it's been coming, but Andrew has been developing it.
Sure.
Right? Iterating, trying it, testing it.
Not a
and
bad thing.
I feel like it's just been like a long run
Yeah.
of waiting for it just to come to Kickstarter. But I guess that's a good thing to get that all done out of the way before people invest their money and then get mad.
Yeah, you got to walk that line. Anytime with a Kickstarter, you've got the that delivery deadline that people at some point people are going to get impatient and they're not going to want to keep waiting. But then as a consumer, how long do you want to wait to make sure you get the product?
I mean, like
that
last
you're
year, I
hoping
bought
for?
this
Yeah.
T-shirt in support. Like
Yeah.
I've been supporting.
But there have been games that come out on Kickstarter they just pushed out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Sean McDaniel over there. That's my buddy.
Yeah,
Sean McDaniel
Horrible.
talking about he's still waiting for his Infinity game. I was like, almost 2 years that you kickstarted that thing.
Well, I kickstarted just before COVID hit, and I was supposed to get majority of my games last year.
Oh, yeah.
So that really just knocked everything down. And then all of a sudden, was it like last month? I got 6 of them,
yeah.
like all at one time.
And that's when the wife like gives you the stare balls.
doing? Well, she goes, is the car paid? Yeah, I don't care.
Well, all
Do
right.
whatever you want then.
So check it out, Defiance. It is a Christian
Deliverance.
board game.
Deliverance, not Defiance.
Deliverance. Defiance. That's a different game.
That was Sean's game, Infinity Defiance. Deliverance. It's a Christian-based board game of a battle between demons and angels, the armies of the spiritual world, competing for protecting towns. So it's almost like a dungeon crawlish type game, but using the spiritual realms with miniatures. The all-in is not bad at all. The base game is pretty inexpensive. Check it out on Kickstarter. It's running now. Andrew has been chatting with me. The designer, Andrew Lowen, has been chatting in the chats with me. He put me on the list for a review copy.
Cool.
So once it cycles through some other reviewers, I'll get it here, and we will play a copy here.
For
So
sure.
check it out. Deliverance, the board game. Deliverance, right? I said it right?
Yeah.
Deliverance that time. You're right that time.
I was going
yeah.
to trick you, but never mind.
Defiance. Yeah, you messed it up
I was
again.
going to say Defiance. No.
Is this where I break your legs?
We keep them on opposite sides of the table for a reason.
So that was my one last thing. Any one last thing from you?
No, I'm looking forward to Saturday. I'll get some more games in. I'm looking to learn Beyond the Sun, which I keep hearing about, this giant tech tree of a game that people say looks so boring, but when you play it, it's a 9 out of 10. So I'm dying to play that one. I'm going to get that one in. And I'm supposed to be teaching Ethnos, another game that I think at least 2 out of the 3 of us agree, very underrated game.
It's right there, just
Yeah.
above your head.
Yeah, we really enjoy playing that one.
It's an okay game.
Get it out.
No
so.
theme, though.
No theme, but
But it's like
still
a
fun
rummy
game.
style game. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A little card play and area control. It's a good game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that and several other games this weekend.
Your one last thing?
I guess I have to come out there with a no persona with no chill will. I can't hide it now.
No, yeah, it's a
Nah,
thing now.
he's
Everybody's
out.
Yeah, he's out of the box.
Unless it's a new player.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna come out and play whatever's out there. I'm gonna finish reading the rules for who goes there. And if someone wants to play it, not, I'll just tag along to any other game that's going on.
Cool.
I don't know about
See,
Beyond
that
the-
one's a bigger one. You're going to want to probably post
Set
that
up a thing.
and see if anybody
Right.
wants to join
Yeah.
you ahead of time.
I could just bring Terraform Mars.
I'll play that anytime. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, no. Who goes there?
Yeah.
When are we going to get that to the table? So if not at the game event, start figuring out. Could we get it in on Thursday night? Is
Probably.
probably.
Okay.
Okay.
But we need to play the other game that we're talking about.
What other games? Oh yeah, it's the summer of Betrayal Legacy.
Betrayal Legacy. Yeah, we're
That's
gonna
our
get that
thing.
out.
We're gonna get Betrayal, but this is gonna be with your kids. So this has to be like a Friday night, Saturday night thing.
Yeah, could be. That's good.
So we got to bring the kids over, and we're going to play through Betrayal Legacy, which my wife got me a couple years ago for Father's Day, I think it was.
Oh.
So we need to run through that. This is going to be the summer of Betrayal Legacy.
I just remembered tomorrow night I am playing Dwellings of Eldervale for the first time with Nick and Joe.
Worker placement, right?
So it's about 6 different mechanics in that game, but worker placement is kind of one of them. So yeah, looking forward to that one. That was one I wanted to play for a little while now too.
I want to report on that too.
Excellent.
All right, that's us. We are the Beans and Ice Podcast. I am Carlos,
I'm Rob.
And I'm William.
and we are a podcast about
How we game.
That's right. We want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. For those of you that are on the podcast, I'm actually watching the podcast grow.
Yeah.
People listening to the audio version.
More subscribers.
Has been pretty cool.
Keep subscribing.
And then for all of you that called in today, Chris Nelson, Mitchell from Louisiana, Ben out of Tampa, and Raph, thank you so much for calling. That's what keeps this game that's what keeps us coming back each week.
keeps us going.
Is the phone calls when y'all call in and say hi.
Get a chance to interact. Yeah.
Before we go, Mitchell's got a good question. Terraforming Mars with or without expansions? The $1 million question. I'll give that to William.
Apparently, we have to play with Prelude.
Always.
Always Prelude.
Always
Yeah.
Prelude.
Prelude's like a given.
After that, it doesn't really matter.
I haven't played any other expansions.
I've played. Well, you played. We played Venus. Venus Next. When you first got that, we broke it out and played it.
Oh, the board. That's the board,
that's the
though.
extra- that's the
That
extra
doesn't
board.
count.
Yeah.
That's just a
Oh
different
no,
board.
that's
that's not the
Hellas and
board.
Elysium. Venus Next is another board. It's the 4th track that you have to go.
Oh,
up.
yeah.
We played that one. So I wasn't thrilled by that one. I could take or leave that one.
I want to try the Colonies one.
Yeah, I haven't played Colonies. I haven't played the Senate yet. But,
I wish I had
yeah.
more time in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm having another baby.
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl. Yeah,
Blood
need
Bowl.
some time. Yeah.
See, but Blood Bowl, you get ranked worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, are you on a ranking for Terraforming Mars? Like, I'm working my way up the ladder.
Is there a negative
Personal
number?
ranking.
I am probably there. If there is a negative number, I probably have it. On that note, thank you for watching Beans and Dice Podcast. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
I'm William.
And that's us saying goodbye again.
Still. Yep. Have a good
Bye,
night.
everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.